Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's get rid of that from the background. And, oh, I don't have my time thing. There. I was recording some stuff yesterday. Oh, also, I'm sitting on a pillow. I don't think I needed that extra pillow. Oh, and I forgot to plug in my hair light. See if this makes a difference. Let me get the cord out of the shot. Here we go. Bing! There we go. New grandbaby coming today for Fiona. That's exciting. Congratulations. Good morning, Lisa. Hey, Rex. Crisp, sunny fall day for Lisa. And you're in Louisiana, right? Yes. Panchadula? Did I say that right? Good morning, Liz and Valerie. Audio is a bit wonky. Let me check it. I did have some feedback earlier. I turned it off. Let me make sure that it's on the right microphone. Yep, it's on the right microphone. Let me check my settings. Kind of hard. Yeah, actually, I don't think I can check my audio settings during a broadcast. Yeah, I can't. So, what's up with the audio? What's it doing? Is it like wavering? Is it popping in and out? Is it making noises? Unfortunately, audio is the most important thing. And if the audio isn't good, people leave. So hopefully it's fixed. It's showing that it's everything is modulating properly on my end. So let me know how it sounds. So I have not checked the news for sounds like I'm underwater. Interesting. Wavering, but I can manage. It's really bizarre. We had so many technical problems last week. So I'm doing the webinar and on Friday, and suddenly it's scratchy. Okay. Huh. That's really creepy. Maybe it's my voice. I'm doing the webinar last week, and like 3 minutes into the webinar, all of a sudden I noticed my camera had cut out. And I thought, oh, that's no big deal. So I just turned the camera part off because I was showing slides. So I thought, oh, no big deal, because I put myself in in the lower right-hand corner. So I just turned off the camera, and then all of a sudden, people said, I can't hear you. And I looked up, my microphone was off, so I turned it back on, and then I turned it off and on and off, and then all of a sudden it said, you're off air. Like, wait a minute, what happened? So they have a panic button, what they call it, a panic button. So what happens is you hit the panic button, and it creates a new webinar, and it just moves everybody over there. I've had to use it one other time. I actually forgot that I did use it one other time. So the webinar was supposed to move, and then I got the spinning wheel of death because the webinar never moved, and I couldn't figure out why. So I had to turn it over to tech support, and I went to emergency tech support because they're supposed to be able to fix things for you while you're on the air to get you back on the air within a couple of minutes. Well, 25 minutes later, they're still trying to fix the problem, and they can't figure out you know what it was? I had the moderator was here using the same Wi-Fi. And they said, oh, your moderator and you can't be on the same Wi-Fi. I said, I have 100 up and 100 down. I pay for high-speed internet, and you need like 10. So technically 20. Because the moderator was on the same internet connection that I was, it knocked me off the air. Isn't that the correct? To me, that's a software issue. So I tried to create a new webinar, and actually after a couple of minutes I realized that tech support wasn't going to be able to help. And so I tried to create a new webinar, and it wouldn't let me because it said I was still on the air because it never disconnected me, even though I was disconnected. So 192 people lost that weren't able to participate. So that was devastating to say the least. So, good morning, Kim and Deb. Sunny and beautiful day for Rose. Hey, Ruth. The mic is cutting in and out. It's crackly. Carrie Ann says it sounds perfect. Susie says that sounds not good. No voice. Picture still there, says Rose. So now, what do you mean it's not my voice, Liz? And it's not giving me unified chat. Lately, it seems like if it weren't for bad luck technologically, I would not have any luck whatsoever. Okay, try to refresh the page and see if that helps. I don't know. Anyway, what I was going to say is I haven't checked the news in a couple of days, so because I just didn't want the negativity and the problems with everything that's going on with the elections and everything here in the United States. So don't tell me. Voice is crackling, sounds like tech. You know what I'm going to do? It's a USB mic, so I'm going to, this connection is good, so I'll be right back. I'm going to run around to the other side of the room where this is plugged into the tower and make sure that connection is still plugged in. Okay, so the microphone is not old by any means. I think it's only a couple of years old, and that's not old as microphones go. Mississauga. So hopefully that helped. I'm not sure. This is horrible. Good morning, Minette. The sound 11 came back. Sounds still bad, said Kim. Doggone it all. See, I can't change the settings. If I stop the stream, I'll have to recreate a whole new doohickey. Let me see if I can change any of the settings here. No. Unhide, rename, filters, vertical layout, filters, advanced audio properties. Let me see what's going on in here. Okay. It's going to take a minute, but I just changed a monitoring set and see if that does. It's not changing my decibels. My balance is good. My sync offset seems to be okay. Let me look at the mixer one more time. Okay, and that's good too. All right, so did that make a change? Did that, and Liz says it sounds great for her. Liz Garcia says it sounds great. Okay, so it just sounds garbly, it sounds like. Liz says it sounds great for her. Lisa says not that bad. Valerie Lynn says it's like I'm underwater. So audio is super important to me. Now it sounds like I'm underwater and crackly. We're going to change that setting back. No change for Kim. I'm the only one on the internet here, so I can't blame it on anybody gaming or anything like that. I can understand. So how are you? Oh, by the way, Cappuccino members. Cappuccino members. We are doing cocktails with Colleen. So that is one of your big bonuses quarterly, where it's an Ask Me Anything. We're all going to be live on a Zoom call. Get your favorite libation or drink, depending on where you are. I sent an email out about it asking for preferred times. I got some really good response, but only from about half of you. So I want to make sure I pick a time that's going to work for everyone to be able to participate in cocktails with Colleen. So it should be fun. Yeah, happy Wednesday. No kidding. So make sure you check your emails for that. All right, so we're down on the clock on time here. So I'm going to fade to black, pull up my notes. And golly, I hate the whole crackly thing, but you know what? At this point, there is nothing I can do about it. It was better before. Okay, so I'm glad I changed it back then. Golly, this would be a great recording. I'm glad this is short content. Matter of fact, I'll probably make it shorter based on the fact that the recording is going to be bad. So, okay, let me, wait a minute. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, gosh. I just accidentally closed all my windows. So I can't see comments. No, there's no cost, Rose. Except for your internet fees. Okay, and let me check this one. I gotta get over back so I can see your comments. There we go. All right, so now I can see your comments. So, comment away. Oh my God. Alrighty, let's give this a shot and see what happens. I'll be right back. Most of us have dealt with some sort of negativity in our lives, whether it be in our childhood or continuing it on into an adult. But the problem becomes when you allow that negativity around you to start getting in your head, and then it gets even worse when you start talking negatively to yourself. We all kind of do it. I understand. It sneaks into our heads. But today we're going to give you 7 tips to stop that negative self-talk in its tracks. Today we're going to give you 7 tips to stop that negative self-talk in its tracks. Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Colleen. Let's get rid of that background noise real quick. And like I said, we start dealing with negativity in our lives right from when we're a little child. I mean, we're told no constantly when we're little, and then we experience no throughout our entire life. So being told no and having negative things happen around us, and there's bad people. You know, I think it was explained to me once that bad people are like the weather. Sometimes the weather's good. Most of the time the weather's good where I live in Texas, but sometimes it's bad or it's really, really bad. And it's the same thing with people. So make sure that you understand that negativity around us is a normal part of life. The problem becomes when the negative self-talk gets in your head and you start talking to yourself that way. And negative self-talk is the number one issue that holds people back. This is your first time watching. My name is Colleen Hammond. I'm a former on-camera meteorologist for the Weather Channel, turned image consultant, coach, and mentor. I started to realize that if women only knew how easy it was to niche down on their style, that they would look and feel amazing. So I created a do-it-yourself style academy so that women could create their own style and walk out of the house every day with confidence, knowing that they looked amazing and they would feel fascinating. So if you find this content informational or supportive, please share it. And of course, hit that subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube so that you know when my other videos come out. So before you start thinking negatively, if you start thinking negatively, the wisdom out there, the natural, things that people will say was, well, just stop thinking those negative thoughts. But the problem with that is it's counterproductive, because if you try to not think about something you reinforce it. You end up thinking about it more. So the best example I was ever given was, don't think about a pink elephant with lime green spots trying to climb the tree in your front yard or in your backyard. Don't think about that elephant. Just stop thinking about that elephant right now. I don't want you to think about the pink elephant with the spots trying to climb a tree. So when you try to not do something, you end up reinforcing it and thinking about it even more. So we're going to give you 7 tips that actually I wove in a couple of them, but I like the number 7. So we're going to keep it with 7 to help you stop negativity immediately. Number 1, you have to distinguish between negative self-talk and critique. So you can't walk around like Stuart Smiley, everything's great, and because maybe you did make a mistake, and the honest thing to do would be to unpack it and figure out what it is. So a self-critique of a situation is okay, but walking around saying, I'm just so dumb, I can't believe I did that, how stupid, geez, I feel fat today, recognizing the difference between, I made a mistake. How can I learn from that and not make that mistake again? What can I do next time to make it better? Distinguishing between the two is going to naturally lead to a better situation. So remember to keep that balance in there. So walking around saying, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I'm, whatever, is not productive. But if you are in a situation where you made a mistake, or something happened that you can correct and do it differently next time, then that's a self-critique. So the first step is to distinguish between, is this helpful or not, right? And do you find that balance? Here's like 1A. Do you find that balance between rewarding yourself for the things you do well? So making a reward list, right? Every time that you do something that's good. And I was on a conference, I spoke at a conference down in Australia, and I forget what they call it. They actually have a term for it in Australia where you just don't compliment yourself. So I'm not saying walk around and tell people all your greatest accomplishments and your kudos, but to be able to recognize that you do actually accomplish some wonderful things during the day. And how well did you clean that toilet? I just remember when I was surrounded with 4 children and homeschooling and I was in the depths of being mom, that was sometimes, you do the best with the situation that you're given. And sometimes at the end of the day, it was like, I made a great dinner. Now, somebody might have fussed about it or complained about it, but I did a good dinner. I cleaned the toilets really well today, but rewarding yourself and recognizing your accomplishments and the things that you have done well, either today or in your past, is an important balance. So do you find yourself rewarding yourself more in your self-talk and saying, good job, great job, I did that today? Or do you find yourself saying, well, that was dumb, I can't believe I did that, how stupid, right? So start listening to yourself. Number 2, accept that you're going to make mistakes, because there's been how many perfect people ever born on this planet, right? If you beat yourself up when you fail, then you're in for a really rough road, right? So because you're going to fail, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to do things wrong, and realize that it's a gift. It's part of the human condition. You're not the only one. All of us make mistakes. All of us fail. All of us have tech problems, right? So lessons learned. Excuse me. I was trying not to cough. Lessons learned is how you should really look at it. You just found a way that it didn't work. Was it Thomas Edison? He found 9,999 ways to not make a light bulb until the 10,000th try. And then it finally worked. So finally trying to realize that it's not a failure, it's a lesson learned. All right, number 3, daily affirmations. And I haven't talked about this a lot because I still have that Stuart Smalley from Saturday Night Live thing, doggone it, I'm good enough, in my head. But I used to do affirmations. And all affirmations really are practicing being positive, practicing positive self-talk. So I was watching a show Oops, sorry about that. Hit the microphone. I was watching a show on Masterclass, and it was about style, and it was this man who is recognized as a stylist, and he's a stylist to the stars, and etc. Um, and before they showed like a behind the scenes of him in the green room getting ready to go out onto the set, and he was like, "You're good enough. They asked you to do this because you're amazing." And so even he was cursed with these self-doubts, right? And you look at somebody like that and you think, wow, he's at the top of his field, but he still was dealing with negative self-talk. So just seeing him standing in front of the mirror, I thought, oh, you never outgrow positive affirmations. And as a cappuccino member in the cafe club, I have given you a list of 50 affirmations, just in general affirmations. And I think there's 25 affirmations listed specifically for moms on helping you be a better mom. And I'm an empty nester, and I found a lot of these, and some of them I wrote myself, but I found that these were really, really productive for me when I was a mom to be a better mom. So for your bonus in this particular episode for Cappuccino members, that's inside of your bonus section. So you want to repeat the affirmations, write them out on a piece of paper. Anytime you write them by hand, not type, but write them on a piece of paper with a pen or pencil with your own handwriting, it reinforces these thoughts. The other thing that I do, that you can record yourself saying these affirmations. And when you're recording it, you have to, and you can record it on your phone. I mean, where's my phone? Oh, here it is. You can just record it on your phone and record it into your phone, and then you have it recorded. Put on your headsets and listen to it while you're emptying the dishwasher. And of course, how you'd empty the dishwasher? Putting the pen in your mouth. Because a pen in your mouth for 1 to 2 minutes actually improves your endorphin release, and it forces your face to smile, and it makes you happier. So if you're listening to these affirmations that you have recorded in your own voice and they're in your head, being pumped into your earbuds, into your ears, into your brain, it also gives it more affirmation because it is your own voice. And so you're training yourself to think positively about yourself. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. The first time you do it, it feels ridiculous. You're looking yourself in the mirror. It's like, doggone it, you're good enough, right? But, no, you're positive, you're uplifting, you're supportive, and thinking of all the words and thinking of your best self as well. What words do you want to ascribe to you as your best self? All right, so that's number 3, is working on those affirmations. Number 4, limit your time exposure to toxic people. This is huge. And if you don't have the top 10 toxic people list, or you haven't seen it in a while, I highly recommend you go and get the, oops, it's not letting me post it over here. Okay, so I'm trying to post it for there we are, the people on YouTube. There's people in our lives that are just toxic. And sometimes you can't get rid of them. You can't cut them out of your life because they may be a family member, but you can limit your exposure to them. You can develop strategies of how you want to deal with them. You can spend as little time with them as possible. And if you're already struggling with negative self-talk, being around negative people will reinforce that. So you want to limit your exposure to negative people and increase your exposure to positive people. So who in your life is positive that you want to be around, that's uplifting, that brings you joy, that affirms you and gives you compliments? With my grandchildren right now, my daughters have really focused on emotional intelligence and teaching them their emotions. Oh, you're angry. Oh, you're so happy. Teaching them to be able to label their emotions, and then remembering that it takes 10 positives to counteract 1 negative. So trying to affirm them and, celebrate the things that they do right. Oh, good job. I'm proud of you. Aren't you proud of yourself? Good, Jay. You should feel good about the fact that you did that. And don't you feel good? And so being around that, I realized, gosh, I need to start doing that more with myself And remembering to do that, because, because of this whole pandemic, you forget about what it's like to be with people. So remembering what it's like when you're with people one-on-one, or when we're going to do our cappuccino members, we're doing our special cocktails with Colleen, our special Zoom call, our exclusive private club. Just being together like that, sometimes we forget to do those positive affirmations. And number 5, learn to see the good in people. If you're always looking and seeing negative in other people, no wonder you see negative in yourself. So if you try to look around and saying, instead of looking at somebody like, what an idiot, I can't believe they're standing in line and they're not even paying attention to the fact that they could be moving up. Or the light is green, for heaven's sakes, honk honk. Who gave you a driver's license? So if you find yourself, those are mine. I get irritated with people in line. I don't like standing in line. Do you like standing in line? I don't know anybody that really likes standing in line. So I try to find productive things to do when I'm in line. But I get frustrated driving. So yeah, those are mine. I'm working on it. But anyway, if you find yourself being negative about other people, try to look and say, the reason that person's driving so slow is because, I had a friend that actually moved here from Europe, and she got on, we do 75 miles per hour on the freeway, and she's never driven over 45 miles per hour in her life. So she drove 45 miles an hour. And I said, girlfriend, that's dangerous. First of all, you can get a ticket for obstructing traffic. But second of all, if you're going to be, first, just don't get on the freeway. There's other ways to get around. Don't get on the highway. And if you don't want to do 75, stay on the back roads and do 45, right? So I try to remember that there may be something going on in that person's life. Or when somebody races by you on the freeway doing 100 miles an hour, you think, what a jerk, right? Or you can think, you know what? They might be on the way to the emergency room. So I've had to train myself in those 2 situations. Normally, I'm really good about it. But in those 2 situations, I tend to be a little bit negative about people's intent, if you will. And I also have to remember, stay in your own lane. It's none of your business. It's what people do, what they say, how they react. It's none of our business. So we need to mind our own business, keep our thoughts to ourselves, and avoid negative thoughts. Number 6, negative thinking is a choice, just like positive thinking is a choice. So even though you've been bombarded with negativity your entire life, it's something you choose to do. Maybe it's a habit and it's time to break that habit. So choose to think positively. It doesn't come naturally. It doesn't come quickly, especially if you were criticized a lot or, grew up in a critical environment, which is part of my perfectionism, is that I was always told I could always do better. I was never acknowledged, hey, great job. It was always like, why is that an A-? It should be an A+. Or why isn't it A? It should be an A+. Why'd you get a 95 on that test? Why'd you get that one problem wrong? So there was always that focus on the small negative, as opposed to rewarding the huge positive. It was like, I got 5 A+ and 1 A-. Where was the reward for the A+, right? So choose to think positively, because it is a choice, but it does take work, especially if you've been surrounded by negativity your whole life. And finally, learn to strengthen your self-belief. A lot of negative thinking comes from, or is caused by, a lack of belief in yourself. So strengthening your confidence will help you overcome a lot of those negative self-talk behaviors. All right, so some things that you can do. Number 1, start using affirmations. And again, Cafe Club members, your bonus this month is, Cappuccino members is about 150 affirmations in there for you to choose from. So find 1 or 2 that you really, really like and start implementing those daily, multiple times a day, into your activities. Number 2, start a negativity journal. So when you find yourself thinking a negative thought, stop, write it down. And then write down why you came to that negative conclusion. And sometimes we can't figure out the why, so then just write the reasons it's not true. Write down why that negative self-talk that you just said to yourself isn't true. And again, especially if you can do it by hand, works if you're typing it, because it's causing you to stop and think about where these thoughts are coming from, where they initiated from, and how they got into your head. But counter them by telling yourself why they aren't true. And number 3, a gratitude list. Trying to remember every night in bed, put a smile on your face and think about your family in your life that you're grateful for, the people in your life that you're grateful for, the work that you do that you're grateful for, anything that you can think of. And also, if you want to learn more about this, below this, either on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever you're watching it, there are a list of books. What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. And Shad Helmstetter has tons, and I could have listed all of his books, but I didn't. That is the first book I ever read decades ago on self-talk. Maxwell Daily Reader has 365 days of self-reflection and positive thoughts. Silencing the Lies That Steal Your Confidence. I'm halfway through that one. 365 Days of Positive Self-Talk is another real good one. Me, Myself, and Lies. What to Say When You Talk to Yourself is great. And of course, Brene Brown. Can't do anything about this type of a topic without discussing Brene Brown. The Gifts of Imperfection. So those links are included below and in the show notes. Alrighty. So hopefully those tips were helpful to you. Which one are you going to try? Which one are you going to implement today and start switching your thoughts from negative to positive? All right. I love you. We'll see you next time. Oh, I should probably leave this black for a little bit longer. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Actually, that's not supposed to be up there. Let's go here. Alrighty. And now let me go read your comments. Because please tell me you were making comments. Alrighty. Sound is still bad. Having Wednesday. I'm at work. I have a meeting in a few minutes. I'm going to watch the replay. Thanks for being here, Kim. Now the sound is good. Interesting. You had a video and it helped me a lot. Thank you. You're welcome, Rose. Gosh, that means so much to me. Thank you. I'm getting rid of the extra stuff. Yep, that's a thing. That's a thing. Carrie Ann says the audio's fine. Very helpful. Good, 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 good. I have a concern of hating someone too much, even though I don't want to. I never want to, but still have those thoughts. Yeah, it's something that that I think we all, we don't want to give that person power in our life, is the thing. And the more you think about them and think negatively about them, the more power you're giving them. So again, you can't not think about something. It goes back to the pink elephant idea. But the goal is, of course, to replace your thoughts. So when you start thinking about that person, just literally say to yourself, stop it. I choose not to think about you. I do not give you control in my life. And then switch your thoughts. Pick another thought that you're going to think so that every time you think about that person, you know to say, stop. I do not give you control in my life. Be gone. And then I choose to think about this, and then moving on to another thought. Okay. Let me see. Let me go back up into Facebook. Get my scuba gear clear now. I wonder what it was. I'll have to check the pre-settings because I have in my production studio, I have different settings for different camera. Blah, blah, blah. I'll have to go back and share. Clear, clear, clear. Better now, better now. And thank you for sharing the video, by the way, Valerie. Unpack the scuba gear. So there's your positivity through the day. The program is clear. Exactly, Rex. No kidding. Paint a clear picture. Mine's already processed. The pesky pink elephants. Yeah. Good morning. Oh, Patty. Hey. Oh my gosh. How is the art coming? You know what? I'm moving. Well, it's not going to be for quite some time, but I'm building a big studio, like a permanent studio. This is in my bedroom. So the bed is right here, right? So this is the foot of my bed. And so I'm building out a bigger studio so that I can have, all I have to do is change the camera. So it's like two walls. So I'm shooting on this wall. It would be one set, and then I can just turn the camera and shoot on that wall. It's a different set. And I was pulling things out to decorate with, and I have your pictures. So your pictures are going back on the new set. So yay. So how is business, Patty? I'm such a perfectionist. God have pity on me. Me too, Rex. Yeah. This is so good. Thank you, Judy. Motivation is a blessing. Yeah. I can be very critical myself even when I'm giving my best effort. I'm the same way. So I have to realize sometimes the toxic person in my life is me. I'm twitching, just thinking about doing it. The worst, okay, as a Catholic, and I think, I think a lot of people know I'm Catholic. So I go to confession and they give you, which is like going to a counselor, right? It's, people don't understand confession. It's a blessing. But anyway, so, and then they give you something to do to help you to hopefully to overcome the issues in your life and that kind of stuff. So this priest once, God rest his soul, he passed away a few years after this, but he said, I want you to go home and look yourself in the mirror, and you don't stop looking yourself in the mirror until you can love yourself as much as God loves you. So technically, I should still be in front of the mirror because I am incapable of infinite love as God loves. And so I told him that, and I said, well, I don't know if I can do that because God is infinite love and I'm a human being. I think I would blow up if I experienced infinite love. He goes, there you go again. You're just being too self-critical. And no, that is what I want you to do. That's what I want you to do. So I went home and stared myself in the mirror for, I forget how long. I stayed for as long as I could. But the first couple of minutes were really uncomfortable. And then the rest of the time was just like ridiculously funny. I find being around toxicity builds character. Good for you, Rex. It's an opportunity to exercise kindness, and I think they hate it. Okay, wait a minute. Let's dig down into your intention. Sharing this, says Margot, is so helpful. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad it was helpful. I can think of family members that needed this too. Great tips. Good. So, okay. Deb says learning to turn off the ants in our heads is in person. Yes. That was from Dr. Amen, wasn't it? The ants. Yeah. As Saya said, so difficult when they're in your immediate work environment as well. Absolutely. Yep. That is like having a family member, because when you're working and they're right with you, it's the same type of thing. I mean, it's like they are constantly surrounding you, and it's very hard to get away. It really is. Let me get another drink here. So, and again, cappuccino members, if you haven't, I did send out did I say that earlier? I sent out an email asking you when you wanted to get together and do cocktails with Colleen on the Zoom call. And again, I heard back from about half of you, so I want to make sure I pick a time for everybody that's going to work. Confession is great counsel. Yeah, it really is. It can be, it can be, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh. See, this is what happens when you try to multitask. So, and anyway, also I want to know what webinar you guys want me to do next. The one that I did last week, I am working feverishly with the people who signed up. It was so well received. It's basically how to look good on Zoom, how to look good on camera. And I got a couple of notes from people that said, nah, it just wasn't quite my thing, but I enjoyed it. But I went to your webinar because I always like your webinars, but it's not my thing. Well, what is your thing? What do you want me to teach? So my goal is to do a new webinar every month. And at the very least, I know a couple of people did say they wanted to hear capsule wardrobe again. So I'm not quite sure what we're doing in November, except for focusing totally on the launch of the Style Academy. So that's our number one. But love confessions. So missed that when everything was shut down. Yeah, that I missed going to church. I missed being around people. I missed, there were so many things. Vela, Patty, doing well. Our classes went to Zoom in March. Yeah, almost 8 months later with the studio at home. Wonderful. Classes continue. Just finished October Creativity Challenge with watercolor. 40 people in the group. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, you're very welcome, Patty. 8 months, I figured that. You said right months, 8 months. I figured that was about 8 months because it's been about 8 months. So, yeah, that's wonderful. Very proud of you. Good job. Good job, good job, good job. All right, so what we're going to do now is head out of here because I've been on for 45 minutes. So now I have to edit all of these and get them all taken care of. And then I got to edit the one on YouTube, and then I have to come back and edit the one on Facebook. And then I have some lessons to record for the Style Academy. And we're going to be working on those and updating all of that material today. Not all of the material today, my goodness, it's like a 12-week program. But updating that material. Then I have a call with my marketing director and coach this afternoon. We have family dinner tonight. I'm doing a girls' spa day tomorrow. So spa day, I don't know, but I don't know exactly what we're going to do, but we're just going to do girls' day tomorrow, so that'll be fun. I need a break. I need a break. Things have been crazy. So also, just again, remember, I'm here for you. I'm on your side. Anything you need, you just let me know. And I will do my best to help you out. And let me know what kind of stuff you want to hear on a webinar or learn about or see here on Coffee with Colleen. And remember, Cappuccino members, look for that email. I sent it out a couple of days ago asking you when our best time slot is, because I want to get that nailed down today and get our time together scheduled for within the next week. I wanted to do it this week, but I wasn't hearing back from people, and I just didn't want to go ahead and schedule something that wasn't going to work for people. So let me know so we can get that done as soon as possible. All right, take care, God bless, and we will see you next week. Bye now.